What's up, everybody, and welcome to week 1 of the 31 Days of Motivation. Yesterday, I gave you guys like a general breakdown. I showed you guys all the workbook, told you guys about the Facebook group, which, by the way, if you're not in there, you need to get in there because it's a pretty cool group, I must say. But I'm a little biased, so you know. So today, I want to give you a breakdown of what this first week, and everything looks like. So for the first week or so, actually, I think this is going to be the first full week. We were talking about dream and vision. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to push ourselves to identify what are those dreams that we have for ourselves. What are those visions that we have for ourselves? We're going to take those and we're going to break them down into goals so that we have a very clear idea of what we want to accomplish for 2022. Now, when I talk about dreams and vision, I'm not meaning what can you do this year. If your dream is to buy a house, what does your dream house look like? What does the house that you want to buy look like? If it's not necessarily doable in this year, totally okay, because what we'll do is we have the vision, which is kind of the broadest area, and then we break it down into more specific and attainable things. So if the dream is to buy a house, but it's not doable this year, the goal then might be, okay, what can you save this year for a down payment for the house? So that's what we're going to be starting to do this week. We're going to set ourselves up for success. So we're going to create and identify what are those dreams and what are those visions. And then we're going to focus in on specific content areas for all of that. So when I talk about content areas, there's 8 areas within our lives that if we're doing well in those 8 areas, we're doing pretty well overall. And we'll talk about those down the road. So basically taking those dreams and condensing them down into those focus areas, content areas, life categories, whatever you want to call it. From those life category areas, we're going to break them down into goals. Now, heads up, because those goals might be scary. So it might be, I want to say $20,000 for a house down payment. Well, that's not doable in January, but is it maybe doable in 2022? So again, don't be terrified or don't be overwhelmed by the big goals. What we're going to be doing is we're going to then be taking those and breaking them down even further into step-by-step tangible goals that we can do in a day, a week, a month, a quarter, whatever that looks like. So by the end of this week, you will actually have a physical reminder, physical representation of why you're doing this, of what those dreams are, what those visions are. What do you hope to either end the year with or end the year with progress towards? So basically, I know that everybody has different goals. So I'm going to be using different examples of things like health and fitness, travel, home, things like that, to explain and to break things down. That doesn't mean that has to be your goal or your dream or your vision or whatever you want to call it. But it's used to help make everything easier to understand and easier to conceptualize for yourself. Now, going hand in hand with my 31 Days of Motivation goal guide workbook that I've created for you guys, it actually will break everything down for you. It breaks down the actual vision board, what that looks like, what are your visions, what are your focuses, what are your areas, and there are 6 categories, themes. I'm not quite sure what else to call them. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about visualizing. So visualizing those dreams, visualizing those goals. Next, we're going to be categorizing. So those 8 life content areas or those 8 life categories, we're going to be taking the big vision, big dream, and putting it under a category. Because again, if you don't have these things broken down and categorized, they're going to be really difficult, if not impossible, to achieve. After we categorize everything, we're gonna, what I call conceptualize. So you're taking this focus area, which is very generic, and you're gonna make it a little bit more specific by creating one big giant goal. Then we are going to take that goal and break it down even further into maybe 2 or 3 baby goals to achieve it. So say, for example, your goal is to focus on your health. Maybe that looks like losing some weight, losing a size, changing your diet, eliminating specific foods from your diet, like maybe not drinking as much sugary drinks. So taking big things and breaking them down to make them much more doable and much more attainable. Then we are going to be starting to put together. So you want to then not visualize, but kind of visualize. So we've got ideas of what these dreams look like, but then we're going to find physical representations of these dreams so that we have them for motivation, we have them to push ourselves, and we can be successful. After that, we are going to put it all together and to create our vision board or our dream board. They tend to be very interchangeable, at least for this series, because everything gets broken down so specifically, so it doesn't really matter if you call it a vision or a dream. And then we are going to embellish it and add more to it. So what is our word of the year, and what does that look like? I'll explain a lot of that later. What might be some goals? What might be some quotes? What might be some things that you want to remind yourself on a daily basis for your vision that keeps you going? So that's what this first section / week is going to look like. And I'm super excited to see what you guys all want to accomplish with your vision and your dreams. There will be, I don't think I'm going to do daily sections just because I think that's going to be too hard. But in the Chasing Wellness Facebook group, I have a guide area set up for the 31 days of motivation. So I'm going to have like separate sections under for each theme. So like the vision, the goals, making it happen, and the obstacles. And then I'll have everybody can share their stuff there. So I am super excited to see what vision boards you guys come up with. I'm super excited to see what dreams you guys want to achieve and what goals you guys want to achieve. So let's kick off Vision Week or Dream Week or whatever you want to call it. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow for step number 1. Bye, everybody.